Hayley Williams has been driven nuts by wokeness and social media. I honestly am sad to see it because she is remarkably talented, undoubtedly, and she is an icon in her own right. I love Paramore. I listen to their music. But Hayley is crazy. I mean, she really has spiraled, especially ever since the election. You saw her screaming about Project 2025 on stage.
No, she was not screaming. She was reading a piece of paper that somebody handed her. Yeah. Like, this is why Project 2025 is really bad.
Fear-mongering, constantly making political statements in situations where it's totally irrelevant. Her latest stunt is selling extremely edgy woke merch on her website. First of which says, Hayley Williams is turning your children gay.
I mean, we should get Alex Jones to look into this.
Yeah, she's turning the frogs gay and your children gay. Here's the description. This is from the person who designed the shirt. I'm Mar, a 24-year-old Venezuelan designer passionate about fusing my love for music and visual art to create eye-catching work. Paramore is the band of my life. Their music, from the lyrics to the electrifying and soothing instrumentals, has consistently inspired my creativity. I'm eternally grateful for this opportunity. Everyone remembers where they were when they saw a specific Hayley Williams look in a Paramore music video that influenced their LGBTQ plus awakening. Really? Everyone? Does everyone remember that?
Well, they're saying everyone who's
I don't remember that.
LGBTQI plus and a fan of Paramore.
I thought about the shirt as a playful statement that aims to subvert homophobia, satirizing the notion that simply listening to a particular artist can somehow make someone gay.
Does anybody say that? Do people say that? No. I've never heard anybody say that in my entire life.
Highlighting the absurdity of the belief that sexuality is a simple, externally influenced choice. Hayley has empowered people to embrace their identities and always be who they are. Thank you, Hayley. So you can buy the Turning Your Children Gay t-shirt on Paramore's merch site for $45 a piece. If that's the kind of message that you want to wear in front of people in public.
I find it weird, the type of stuff that becomes marketable merch ideas these days. Something like that. I guess I just don't see this as being something that would have selling power, but maybe I'm wrong. Like, again, even the person's age seemed young for a Paramore fan
24.
To me. Yeah.
It actually is, yeah.
Like, given that, like, Paramore was around when I was in my early 20s and I'm well past 24. So
they haven't been cool for quite a while
now. There's this desperation to hold on to music, especially as a culture, as a left-wing ideology, which in a lot of ways makes perfect sense to me because we still joke about how the right can't art. I get it. It makes perfect sense to me, but I do laugh because these types of shirts are designed to be not just subversive, but to be inflammatory in a way to get, people like us to talk about it. And it neither outrages me. It kind of makes me roll my eyes and just kind of clinically ask the question, has anybody actually ever said that listening to music affects your sexuality? Because I don't think I've ever heard a person say that in my entire life.
You know what? I'm not willing to discount the idea that what you listen to and what you watch and the media you consume influences your sexual tastes.
It's kind of.
I think that's within the realm of possibility for sure.
But there's also the discussion. Have you ever seen
I don't think anyone is becoming a lesbian from listening to Decode by Paramore.
Have you ever seen the meme? It's like Bateman walking in with the headphones on. And it's like me on my way into the gym, what I'm listening to, and it's some pop punk song.
Sure.
Or they're listening to something like that. Like there's the joke about. There's a reason why there's even a discussion about the idea of like guilty pleasure music or something like that. Or like now, one of the funny ones is people are like, I didn't hate Justin Bieber, but I was kind of programmed to when I was younger. I don't know why.
Yeah.
These types of things that this person is posting made sense at a time period where you might have been shamed for your masculinity for liking some type of music. I really don't see that anymore. Now it just goes straight to irony where you're allowed to like whatever you want as long as you portray it in the right way. The straightest dude ever can like Chapel Roan as long as they portray it in some quasi-ironic fashion.
Oh, if they portray it in a way that's like, I'm listening to Chapel Roan so that alt girls will like me.
Or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Like it's a more nuanced discussion than what this person is giving it credit for, but we might also be overthinking it.
It's just odd that people act like we lived in this repressive, puritanical culture in a time like the 2000s or the 2010s. Like, if you even think about the subculture of like emo and pop punk that Hayley Williams was a part of and still is a part of, I guess, to an extent, like the the emotional vulnerability and sort of effeminate fashion sense and like makeup displayed by the young men in that subculture is kind of nowhere to be seen today. Like, if you're any of those things now, you're just gay. Like, remember that guy, that super cringy guy, TX2, that we've shown as the cringe of the day a couple times?
I was just reading an article about the TikTokification of emo music. And
he's, like, screaming about how he's bisexual and, like, hates his parents or something. Like,
but it's made to be mimetic. Even if he means it, it's designed to be mimetic.
Yeah, it's just, like, so weird to me how people act like I don't know, machismo was like the norm until 2 minutes ago, when in reality, like, obviously, like, these emo kids had long hair, eyeliner,
and they wore girls' pants because they did not yet make stretch denim for men at that time for mass production.
Yeah, they were literally wearing women's clothing. And singing about their hearts and stuff. Like, that was not even seen as lame or embarrassing.
But the thing is, now they dunk on that because that's seen as a time of privilege. It's always like, I got to get out of this town, the town they live in, and it's just the richest suburb you've ever seen. Yeah. So now that's seen as like a point of privilege to have grown up in the suburbs.
Nothing can just be taken at face value now. It all has to be viewed through a critical lens.
And it ignores the fact that even if a kid came from a family with money, that doesn't mean he doesn't have the same emotional turmoil that every teenager goes through,
or problems at all.
Exactly. I mean, this is why I always push back when people tell celebrities, "Shut up, your life is easy, you have money." That's a very easy trap to fall into when you understand that the human experience is far more nuanced than just, I have money, therefore my life is good. No, we're human beings. We're fantastic at making problems for ourselves. Like, as soon as, like, this happens to a lot of people. So, like, if you're somebody like me and your life is a struggle because you've developed drug addiction, well, the second you solve that problem, well, then your life is introduced to more problems, whether it's like finding the right job, finding the right, there's all sorts of things that cause us issues in life, and to pretend like money is the only one that does that is ridiculous.
Money, or like being gay or something,
like, your life is like, you're actually kind of doing yourself a disservice by making yourself seem so one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And the reason why art that was critical of those things back then, that talked about those experiences, because it was layered into the art in a way that allowed everybody to engage with it, rather than making it so blatant that somebody like whatever that TX band is, it's just so surface level and kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't engage with everybody. This is why I kind of laugh at the idea when people talk about woke. So, like, you can tell great stories about all things. It's just a matter of how well you actually do so. Now, the problem with most things today is, like that band, it's ham-fisted and it's just thrown in there. And the good writers aren't the ones telling those stories.
Yeah, it just sucks when, when you see a guy like TX2, this cringe guy, he's not all that talented, so you just scroll and you overlook it. But when you see someone who's actually talented as a singer and songwriter like Hayley Williams just completely lose her mind like this,
we forgot
it's especially tragic. And she is making it very clear that she does not want anyone who is ideologically different from her in her fan base. So Popbase, this news aggregator for pop culture on X, posted an announcement that Hayley Williams is sporting a Gulf of Mexico t-shirt.
Flip the image. Come on, dude.
It literally just says Gulf of Mexico on the shirt. And then she sees that Popbase reported this because obviously she's making a pointed remark about Trump's idea of renaming it the Gulf of America, which is just whatever. Like, I know it's a body of water, but like, girl, it's not that deep. And she reposted this saying, at Popbase, posting this without linking people to the tea, which benefits United Farm Workers, which advocates for immigration reform, is weird behavior. This post wasn't even an update or news of any kind. I imagine you knew the type of engagement it would get. You don't need me for engagement. Leave me alone and use me to make a difference. If anyone would like to support, go to at the Old Baby Provincetown to get info and purchase a tea. And then you can actually see the link to the t-shirt. She was linking it because it donates to its proceeds to United Farm Workers, a nonprofit on the front lines of protecting migrant workers. Whatever that means.
This is also why you can't ever placate them, because one of my favorite comments down here pointed out how the shirt is $55. It says, I think this is great in theory, but a long sleeve shirt for $55, they're inflating the price so the donation doesn't affect their bottom line. They will still make money on these, and that's kind of icky because they want everyone to be poor, the same level of poor, but they want everyone to be poor because they believe making money is bad, which is where their ideologies come into conflict. They don't believe in profit, yet Paramore is making plenty of money, I am sure. Yeah. Somebody says, I agree. That sounds a bit pricey for a sweatshirt, though not egregiously so, in my opinion. But it's worth noting that they're donating 80% of the proceeds, not profits. I assume 20% operating costs and overhead for staff, materials, rent. I would love to introduce you to most nonprofits where the overhead and the salaries are where most of the money goes.
Right, exactly. Bottom line is Hayley Williams has brainworms. She's still talented, but she's crazy. She has just lost her freaking mind.
It's
I think maybe part of it is that she's divorced now and kind of listless, and she also has abandoned her Christian faith, which was once a core part of the identity of Paramore. And John Trent, friend of the show, pointed that out in his article about this. She says, in her song Careful in 2010, the truth never set me free, so I did it myself. And Zach Farrow, who left the band, said Paramore claimed to be a Christian band and then wrote those lyrics. It contradicts your faith.
Not for nothing, guys. If you are in the mood to support a cause, you can support the Gongo by buying a shirt or a mug from us.
We swear.
80% of the
proceeds will go to the Gonganese.
We promise, guys.
Don't 80%
you worry. Of those proceeds are going there. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go check out our Teespring. It is in the description of this episode. You can go to our Teespring store. In fact, you know what? Right now, I'm going to add this shirt to the live chat. That way, you can click right now, and you can help us.
Gulf of the Gongo.
The Gulf of the Gongo.
Yeah, that would be a much more worthwhile use of your money.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.